My Tears Ricochet by Taylor Swift. This comes to me as a request in the comments, but it was also a song that I was going to do eventually anyway. And today I've opted to look at the version from the Long Pond studio sessions. And I like both versions. I like the original studio version as well. But I chose this one for one particular reason, which I'll point out when we come to that in the song. Now, this song can be interpreted and has been interpreted in a number of different ways. So, obviously, I'll just be giving my particular take. And as always, please leave your thoughts in the comments. So, without further ado, let's jump into My Tears Ricochet from the Folklore album, The Long Pond Studio Sessions.
We gather here, we line up, weeping in a sunlit room. And if I'm on fire, you'll be made of ashes too. Even on my worst day, did I deserve, babe, all the hell you gave me? 'Cause I loved you, I swear I loved you, till my dying day.
As throughout these Long Pond sessions, I think Taylor's vocals are just absolutely superb, full of emotion, full of expression. And I love the simple accompaniment with the piano and the guitar. Although this doesn't become clear until later in the song, the scene she's setting here seems to be at a funeral. The sunlit room is a funeral parlour where people are weeping, perhaps a crematorium. I think the use of the imagery of fire here, I'm on fire, perhaps points to a crematorium, but obviously also to the emotional state of the narrator. If I'm on fire, you'll be made of ashes too. So whatever is happening to her is also going to be happening to the person who is observing this. The imagery here seems to be that of a ghost attending her own funeral, but whether that's to be taken literally or whether it's referring to the death of a relationship is not clear to me. I think the latter, but the imagery of the funeral and of the people weeping there is very powerful. The narrator is reflecting on her time with one particular person who's there attending the funeral. Even on my worst day, she says, did I deserve, babe, all the hell you gave me? I mean, hell brings up images of fire and flames as well. So there's a lot of that here in this first verse. So this person has treated her badly, but nevertheless, he's there at the funeral. And then she says, 'cause I loved you, I swear I loved you till my dying day. That sort of suggests that she is in fact dead. Otherwise, she might have said, 'cause I'll love you, I swear I'll love you till my dying day. But this is a done thing. So is it actually someone who's died reflecting back on their life with this person? I think that works quite well as a story, but I suspect it's also a metaphor for something else, for the death of a relationship of some kind.
We gather here, we line up, weeping in a sunlit room. And if I'm on fire, you'll be made of ashes too. Even on my worst day, did I deserve, babe, all the hell you gave me? 'Cause I loved you, I swear I loved you, till my dying day. I didn't have it in myself to go with grace, and you're the hero flying around saving face. And And if I'm dead to you, why are you at the wake? Cursing my name, wishing I stayed. Look at how my tears ricochet.
There's some absolutely beautiful imagery and such powerful emotions here in this song. I didn't have it in myself to go with grace. I have a number of feelings as I hear this lyric. One idea that comes to me is that this person actually ended their own life. She didn't have it in herself to go with grace, or at the very least that she didn't give up without a fight. She wasn't going to do the polite thing. And now, as we move on to the wake following the funeral, the man in this song is acting the hero, saving his own reputation. But she says, if I'm dead to you, why are you at the wake? If you hated me so much, if you wanted to get rid of me so much, why are you here at this wake now, remembering me, celebrating my life, but in fact cursing her name and wishing she'd stayed? So cursing her name and wishing she'd stayed, I think this represents the kind of anger that this man feels at the wake, at the funeral. But she's also suggesting that this is fake, that he's not really feeling these things. And then she adds the title line of the song, look at how my tears ricochet. They're kind of bouncing off the people who are there at the funeral, at the wake, almost like bullets.
I didn't have it in myself to go with grace. And you're the hero flying around saving face. And if I'm dead to you, why are you at the wake? Cursing my name, wishing I stayed. Look at how my tears ricochet. We gather stones, never knowing what they'll mean. Some to throw, some to make a diamond ring. You know I didn't want to have to haunt you, but what a ghostly scene. You wear the same jewels that I gave you as you bury me.
Again in this verse, some absolutely beautiful imagery and metaphors. We gather stones, never knowing what thou mean. I think this refers to the things we pick up from life, on our journey through life, on our journey through a relationship. We never know what these things will mean. Some of them are to throw. Some of them are to be used as weapons against each other. Some of them, though, can be used to make a diamond ring. They can be used to make something beautiful. So all these stones that we gather through life, that we gather through this relationship, can be used to hurt, or they can be used to create beauty. And we never know, as we gather these things, what purpose they're going to serve. Then she returns to the imagery of death. You know, I didn't want to have to haunt you, but she is. That's evident in the way he's behaving. He's wearing the very jewels made from these stones. He's wearing the very jewels that she gave him, even as he buries her. So in death, in the death of this relationship, or in the death of this person, there's an ambiguity in the feelings here. He treated her badly, yet he's there angry at her for leaving or for dying. He can't quite let go of her. He's still wearing the jewels that she gave him. Those things that they've gathered in their life together are still part of him, and he can't get rid of that. Now, I know some people want to refer this back to the whole Scott Borchetta, Scooter Braun episode again. And sure, maybe that's there, but I see this in a broader context. I think this has a much broader relevance than that.
We gather stones, never knowing what they'll mean. Some to throw, some some to make a diamond ring. You know I didn't want to have to haunt you, but what a ghostly scene. You wear the same jewels that I gave you as you bury me. I didn't have it in myself to go with grace, 'cause when I'd fight you used to tell me I was brave. And if I'm dead to you, why are you at the wake? Cursing my name, wishing I stayed. But get out my tears, ricochet. And I can.
She returns now to the chorus, but she changes just one line in there. She says, "'Cause when I'd fight, you used to tell me I was brave." So this again is revealing something about this former relationship. Clearly it wasn't all bad. He used to tell her she was brave when she'd fight, whether she was fighting him or fighting for something else. He would tell her she was brave.
I didn't have it in myself to go with grace, 'cause when I'd fight you used to tell me I was brave. And if I'm dead to you, why are you at the wake? Cursing my name, wishing I stayed. But get out my tears, ricochet. And I can go anywhere I want, just not home. And you can aim for my heart, go for blood, but you would still miss me in your bones. And I still talk to you when I'm screaming at the sky. And when you can't sleep at night, you hear my stolen lullabies.
I can go anywhere I want, just not home. Home seems to be referring to the relationship. And this imagery occurs elsewhere, also on the Folklore album, as in the song Exile, for instance. The relationship is home. She can go anywhere now. She's free in a way. Now, whether she's free because she's died or she's free because the relationship has died, she's free to move on, I don't know. She can go anywhere though, but just not home, not back to that relationship. And you can aim for my heart, go for blood, but you will still miss me in your bones. So again, she's observing his anger now, the way he almost seems to hate her, but at the same time, she knows that he still loves her at some level. You would still miss me in your bones. And for her part, she still talks to him when she's screaming at the sky. So although this relationship has ended, it still has a hold on both of them. There's so much emotion in her voice. The music's rising to a crescendo here. There's so much emotion in the music. There's so much emotion in this relationship, a mixture of emotions, good and bad. They're still bound together inextricably, despite the fact that the relationship's dead or even she's dead. They're still bound together. And when you can't sleep at night, you hear my stolen lullabies. Again, I know that some people would refer this back to the selling of her master recordings, but I think it reaches much deeper than that. When you can't sleep at night sort of hints at guilt, that he is guilty of something. And I think it's clear that in this relationship, he didn't always treat her well, although at other times he did. These are the different stones that they've gathered during their time together. So it's not a simple question of heroes and villains here. This is a much more complicated relationship than that. There are several sides to this relationship. It has several dimensions.
And I can go anywhere I want, just not home. And you can aim for my heart, go for blood, but you would still miss me in your bones. And I still talk to you when I'm screaming at the sky. And when you sleep at night. You hear my stolen lullabies. I didn't have it in myself to go with grace, and so the battleships will sink beneath the waves. You had to kill me, but it killed you just the same. You're cursing my name, wishing I stayed. You turned into your worst fears, and you're tossing out blame, drunk on this pain, crossing out the good years. And you're cursing my name, wishing I stayed. Look at how my tears ricochet. Yeah, look at how my tears ricochet. Look at all of my tears turning into your tears. Look at how my tears ricochet.
So she returns to the chorus again, and she brings it right down. There's just so much emotion in her voice. She takes it to another depth here. Her voice cracks. She breaks up the phrasing of the words to give it that little extra angst. She didn't have it in herself to go with grace, and now she adds the line, so the battleships will sink beneath the waves. So there are kind of no winners in this situation. The ships all sink. Everyone is lost. You had to kill me, but it killed you just the same. Just like the tears ricochet, everything he did to her ricocheted back on him. You turned into your worst fears. He became the last thing he ever wanted to be. And so now in anger, he's tossing out blame, drunk on this pain. Again, the complexity of this relationship, the strength of the emotions in this relationship. He tries to cross out the good years, cursing her name, but at the same time wishing she'd stayed. Then she has that line at the end, which isn't in the studio version. My tears become your tears. Although that line's not in the studio version, it seems to me it's the line that unlocks the very meaning of that phrase, my tears ricochet. What my tears ricochet means is my tears become your tears. So whenever I listen to the studio version of this song now, I'm always a little bit disappointed that we don't get that line, which is why I chose to listen to the Long Pond version today. Now that's track number 5 on Folklore, which, as you'll no doubt know, is always a special song on Taylor's albums, the one that's most personal, most revealing about her. It's also one of the songs that she wrote entirely on her own. And as is so often the case, I find myself preferring those songs. This is one of the most deeply emotional songs, not just in terms of the lyrics, but particularly in these Long Pond sessions, in the way she delivers this song, the amount of emotion that she puts into her voice, the way she uses her voice in different ways to express different emotions, the way she phrases words to do the same thing. Add to that the expressions on her face and her bodily movements and so on. It's just all there. It's an awesome performance. When I listen to these songs, her voice just sounds so natural. It's full of little imperfections which just make it absolutely beautiful because, again, these convey emotions. Now, it may well be that the relationship that's being described here is the relationship between her and Scott Borchetta, which was so damaged when he sold her master recordings to Scooter Braun. But even if that's the case, I think we can see how this could reflect so many relationships. Relationships are so complicated. We can feel a multitude of things at the same time. And I love this image she uses of the stones that they gather along the way, which can be used to create beautiful things like diamond rings, but they can be used also as weapons against each other. And we see the man at the funeral, at the wake, at the end of this relationship, expressing so many conflicting feelings. He's angry at her, he's trying to erase the good times, and yet at the same time, he's there at the wake, wishing she was still there. And she also can't let go of him, she haunts him. So, whatever the particular kind of relationship this was, it's not one that either of them can get over very easily. It still binds them together. So there you are, My Tears Ricochet from the Long Pond studio sessions. I hope you enjoyed listening to that, and I hope you enjoyed my nattering on about it.